Oh wow, this is going to be a lot faster than I anticipated. Kills being exchanged, the CT is able to hold on. Zook, so many kills coming in. And when all is said and done, ENCE's bodies will be dropping to the ground like flies. Multiple approaches we can look at it from. The only approach we should be talking about is the fact that they're approaching A side. Symmetry, waiting for him, open arms, M4 works, and it's a 1-for-1. Not bad. Krabeni, however, gets caught on the come-up. Young doesn't have the best weapon for this particular engagement. Look at this, though. launx is starting to do some damage. Zoogs and Demons still have a very reasonable shot. Fama's not the best weapon for this, though. Outraged by the AK. Little HP remaining on 2, but the M4 cannot convert. And as Zoogs falls, ENCE will mark their first round.
I'm trying to wriggle away, but he can't escape.
launx sees him coming, plays around the smoke, plays him like a fiddle, and he still has support. No, Nityu's gonna catch him. And that puts the CTs in a bit of an awkward spot. 3v3, still slightly favorable for FUT, sure, but it is the full bomb site being given up, and utility will be set up as well just to try and delay this progress even further. And by this time, the smokes start to expire. A lot of time will have been wasted, but most of their attention is coming in from tunnels. Flashbang avoided. Here they come. The scout needs to activate soon, and Demon finds a crack in the defense, but it's not going to matter. So much time has been wasted, and the haphazard push towards the end is met with brute force. ENCE not letting FUT get away with more. Rotations coming in. Long player starting to get closer to short as well. And this is looking a bit worrisome for ENCE.
There it is. They're walking in to the teeth of this monster. Krabeni. Demon popping off shots with the pistols. Symmetry eventually gets there. It's a little bit scrappy, and Jukes turns the wrong way at the wrong moment. That's a real shame. If he takes one there, they've got a massive advantage. Instead, Nityu's going to pick off, and Symmetry's left by himself. 1v2. They know roughly where he's coming from as well. He found that kill in CT. Enough times passed that he could be coming from anywhere, but oh, they're just staying tucked. They're making this really difficult. myltsi peeks up on a timing and an easy pick. ENCE do convert a third. It's quite an expensive round, to be fair. 4M4, Symmetry with his AWP. On the other side, podi to respond. So far, it's been an even playing field with the two snipers. I like this from Jukes. I don't think Young will expect this if he does choose to walk up. I mean, the longer he stays here, the sort of more it becomes plausible that someone may have crossed into the left corner, and, well, his spidey senses tingle. He does go for the clear. It's a big entry.
Cody. Great opening kill. And Symmetry's going to have to match his freak in just a moment as they start turning around long. Can't afford to miss a single shot here. Problem is, FUT already have a fair bit of info. They know that tunnels is largely clear. So Symmetry can start focusing on making sure that those shots are going to hit. Oh, what a connection.
Wow. Yeah, it's a big kill. launx finding one back as well. ENCE started this off with an untraded man advantage and not a lot of damage taken in the process either. And now they walk into a site with 25 seconds to spare, no other options, no time to rotate. So FUT have got everybody ready for this. It's a good entry out of myltsi though, but they've still got to deal with Symmetry. This is an awkward angle and an awkward weapon to have for the job, but if he hits the shot, then the round's still winnable. Unfortunately for him, myltsi comes out on top. No chance to deny the plant. launx has got a tough clutch on his hands.
What?
And the transfer is unbelievable. launx.
Duel on car and the adjustment to sight. After Krabeni's fumble, he was spamming through the smoke, and when Symmetry holds an angle where he's guaranteed to get pre-fired, I thought FUT had already gotten all the ingredients necessary for the recipe of a disaster.
Yeah, that's cruel. launx wasn't even going for the fight. Caught in the crossfire. Jukes blocks the CT smoke. I love that. It allows them to be fully aware of if it's just a fake or if they're trying to maneuver around it. It is somewhat the former because there's three trying to press up long, and Symmetry has got all the answers. Jukes is here with him. myltsi gets a flash over the top. It should go too high and too far, so it doesn't need to be turned. Symmetry still posted. myltsi pops his head. If he can end up with 2 here, this is a round that ENCE have just snatched back out of the depths of nowhere. Demon wants to send it back to hell, and he does. A second headshot converts. FUT are getting this done with clutches.
Longer, elaborate defaults, but they're also not afraid of going down to the fast pushes and things like that, really taking advantage of long-term conditioning that they've been able to put up. myltsi, quick to refrag for his teammate, and launx is going to find a really good timing. I don't think they're going to expect him to be right behind them so soon. They're not checking for it, especially with Demon now starting to pull away some attention. launx isn't going to be checked. And although the bomb site has been gained, myltsi, no, you're no launx, buddy. The 2-man spray down doesn't connect, but his teammates still have an opportunity because the CTs are softened up. Symmetry finds some Young, and I'm not sure why he's rushing in without podi.
And here's another one of these kind of pre-bomb plant retakes where ENCE had a little window to get that C4 down. Instead, it was kind of stuck getting out of the tunnels. It ends up being dropped car. Oh, it's a big kill from podi with 20 seconds left. You know, this is somewhat plausible as he swaps to the rifle. launx is low, but he needs to make the decision right now as to how he's going about this. Just the final round of the half. Swings, gets the high HP player. launx swings for the instant trade. If he'd have caught a stray bullet there, that could have gone horribly wrong.
Oh wow, the second half is going to start the same way that the first half did. B-side push, here it comes. rigon, not quite hitting any of his shots. They still need to check for the car player though. They found 2. rigon still, oh my goodness, that is some great precision from rigon. And he's continuing to jump forward to find fights, but he gets a little over-eager, and I think that might be what cost him the round. Zoogs, last laugh as FUT gets 7. With the precedent that FUT have set today after their first game, I'm surprised that ENCE were brave enough to go into this pick. It was an absolute stomping against Betera. And we'll see if that continues to be the trend. podi on the scout rifle narrowly escapes with his life. And it's still a 3v2 though, so can't get too excited unless they can get a couple more hits in. Young and podi, they still have pretty potent weapons.
Actually hits the scout shot on Zajux through the wall on short, which really doesn't normally inflict too much.
If they lose this, very few margins of error will remain. No gas in the tank after this either. And look at what FUT are starting to cook up. With the way the bomb is positioned, with the way the mid players are positioned, this is about to be the B-side push. It's getting so disjointed for the CTs, though, and rigon has done all that he could. Head on a swivel to find a double. And ENCE will want to fast-track their way through the smoke. Flashbang to assist it. And look at this boost that's being stepped up. They're not going to expect Krabeni on that angle. Gets a quick bit of info. That lets him know that at least 2 players are coming in from middle. No info on the last one, so that's something they're going to have to watch out for. Molly clears out car, and ENCE need to quicken up their pace. Here comes the retake, spraying in blindly. Flashbang is so good, but Krabeni has brought it down to just 1 member after the team damage. But podi will be able to maintain his composure, get the defuse kit, and there is just enough time for him to hit the numbers and cut the wires. ENCE,
early advantage onto the clutchy of it. podi down early. Well posted. Very fast shot. myltsi can't. 2-man advantage. They're going to continue to press onto A.
rigon connects the first shot. Krabeni getting distracted by the duel all the way over in CT spawn, but when the dust is settled, it's still a 2v2. And Demon is trying to look for rigon. It's all about who can see the other first. I think Demon might have gotten a whiff of what's going on. launx, in the meantime, trying to join his company from CT. rigon, look at this! That is an unbelievable shot But unfortunately, caught fumbling with the weapon means that he can't convert it into a real collection for the highlight reel.
Wow, he'd done so well to recover this round as well. This is a 5v3 that he brought down to a 2v2.
Yeah, one of the better weapons being taken out, actually. That's a solitary AK-47, and he'll be able to toss it over. If he wants to give it to someone with more HP, guess not. Mid control on the way, though. Neityu swings out, not being checked from the window. And with a little bit of help, we'll be able to clean mostly everything up. But if he doesn't stay alive here, there's a very good chance that this 2v2 can still convert for FUT. So many stalemates that we come into, but most of the time we're seeing the T side come out on top. Podi and myltsi lost to 2. Coming in from tunnels, is he even going to be expected? Krabeni's watching for it. They want to time it to perfection. There's the swing. myltsi not found. Zook's kind of bad on the timing there, and ENCE will be given an opportunity to come right back.
I like this boost. You don't see this all too often. I mean, but I'm going to be going out long without a flashbang, of course, because myltsi still
sees the body turn the corner in just the right amount of time. Flashbang is good. myltsi, as he's dropping, connects some really good shots. And FUT aren't going to be wasting any time. Going all the way around, going to T-spawn. Krabeni has gotten his individual duel going, and as he takes control of A somehow, it signifies to ENCE that they've got to make the rotation start to happen. But this smoke could actually provide a lot of information. Nate is actually quite good to try and fish out some Young. Krabeni and Demon, though, they're winning out their engagements, and Neityu, although we've seen quite the clutches from him in the past, 1v4 all the way from B site is a tall order that he's not going to step up to, and FUT guaranteed 12.
I wouldn't even use that as the yardstick. Their history on Mirage is one that has a long resume.
There goes a B push. They've only gotten the 1 kill. No, not for long. They're going to start getting more, and this flank from middle is all that the doctor ordered. myltsi and podi with the blood supply cut off from middle is going to be a next to impossible uphill battle. Every duel needs to be pristine to get past this deadly crossfire. But myltsi already quite far in, playing from the car, punished by symmetry. Podi needs to hit 2 shots, but FUT, just as they were about to collapse on the finish line, they'll be rejuvenated enough to find those 2 final rounds and take us to map 2.
Wow, all right, now they've got a very, very good opportunity, a clear, but they dropped it at that final moment. FUT were able to take 12 rounds and then 13 in kind, so.
Oh, look at this.
Fast stuff. Yeah, we saw a very fast pistol round out of ENCE on Dust too, and I think FUT want to try and return the favour, but it's the same result. It's the USPs just demolishing.
That's not a single duel going the way of FUT. Pistol round, an absolute whitewash.
Pretty slow stuff though, as they're stacked up in the B apartments. Krabeni's going to come and join the party, and it seems like they'll go for a pop, but it's only with these 2 flashbangs.
Easy does it. An easy firing range for all the members here. And no casualties will be given just yet, so 2 rounds have whizzed by. Sees him coming. Adjustments are perfect. And the 2-man push is dealt with. The 2 swift blows from Demon. Not only are FUT coming back into the game, but they're doing it in style. Podi's hands in the next round as well. But this delayed bomb plant is giving a chance to FUT to start scaling up. Oh, this is bad. This is bad for podi. 4 points of health. A stray bullet could catch him.
Straight anything will catch him.
Oh, podi. Sees the head coming. Rigon's getting a little awkward here. Stuck in between the flames. Shoots between 2 targets. And Rigon has to be that second line of defense as they move in. Flashbang is perfect, but the sprays are better. And Neityu and Rigon are going to tag team up.
It's a beautiful shot, but he should be executed from behind. Where is the top mid player in Sumdai Young?
What?
Who appears to just be completely unsuspecting what is going on here.
How is that information not relayed?
Made. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He thinks it's just Houdini. He's disappeared. It's chaos on the A site, and the trades bring it down to a 2v2.
That should have never happened. ENCE should have gotten that kill way sooner and had the advantage. Sumdai Young dropping the ball there. But it can still be picked up. This round still recoverable. 2v2. FUT would do themselves well to get a second round here. And Neityu's just waiting for the smoke to fade. Waiting for Sumdai Young to step in. Attention drawn from Connector. And it's all about that CT duel. Who wins it? Not good on the spray. Demon's gonna fall, but launx, he's got the scarce player down, which means that it's gonna be impossible for Neityu to find the duel or get enough time to be on the bomb. FUT, second round.
Oh man, I don't want to put it all down to...
Oh, I like that Rigon is just so aware. He's gonna start backing away, worried that somebody's gonna step in. And I think he might still have the idea in the corners of his mind that someone's already climbed up and crossed over. But I want to see how they time this. Demon catches Rigon. A very difficult duel to find if you're myltsi, because you have to find 2 vertical angles. podi hiding inside the smoke is waiting for the smoke to fade. If launx dies, then that could be a second one for podi. But all too aware is Mr. launx.
Yeah, they've already conceded to the idea that this is going to be a save, but Krabeni wants to grant no such luxury. It's a lovely headshot on the swing. It leaves Sumdai Young the last man standing, and well, there's really not a lot for him to save. Lost his 19 HP, and he's got a deagle, not out of choice. He didn't start the round with it either. He was sort of forced into accepting it out of Vitana put 4 apiece. ENCE have got the buyout again. podi with an AWP. The rest with the rifles, but FUT have got a bit of momentum, and that can go a long way. myltsi down below the balcony, dropped by launx, who comes from above, gives him his best Batman impression. Demon doubles up alongside the nade. We're back into a 4-on-2, make it a 4-on-1. podi's not quick enough for Krabeni's swift taps. Neityu left with an impossible task, surely. He does get the first. Oh my god. No.
What?
Surely not.
This, okay. Crisis averted. I think there was that 1v1 from Neityu where he didn't have a kid that could have been changed. But other than that, probably not. Oh, Demon.
Oh.
Incredible double kill to kick things off. And quick note. The next round's not going to be very forgiving money-wise.
Yeah, Demon's
on the
double.
menu. Yep.
It's actually going to pull the rotations off. It leaves B completely open. This is a viable retake, and it's one that they're going to go for. Rigon's got a good little flank going. They've still got him at disadvantage.
It's about pacing themselves as well, right? Because they want to start getting those kills in before the Palace player comes in. Not that they know of his information. Symmetry. Connecting that shot, however, makes this next to impossible. And now they've got to be on the back foot. At least that's the cope I'm going for, even though Demon's going 12-7.
Yeah, this is sort of what I was talking about in the pregame. He is just notoriously...
Ooh, actually, I didn't notice the player in underpass, but regardless. Krabeni losing his life. They're going to start bringing the firepower into A. launx, his timing needs to be impeccable. If he gets caught by the short player, that's the problem. And here it comes, 3v5. Can they get it done? Seems unlikely because it is ENCE final consolation round.
They'd be in a really luxurious position. Interesting little stack over towards the B side of things. ENCE are going to press into that very site. On the initial contact, there's no success out of the USPs. They're just not connecting anything.
Starting to come in from market. There is a remote chance that this retake still works out. But all real signs point to ENCE being able to equalize as soon as they start that second half. It doesn't have to end the way it started for ENCE. Even if they're on the offensive, even if they don't have the advantages that the defense offers. Onyx starting to move in. Trying to find a little gap. There's a kid available. He's going to try and stick it. He needs cover to try and support, though. And there was a sliver in there. That could have worked out. Ambitious attempt, but it's all right. Get back into positions that they can reset from, and with all that information acquired, they can start moving their pieces around a bit. Minute on the clock, so ENCE isn't still out of it just yet. Weird peek there from rigon. And a good connection from Krabeni right through the smoke. An interesting way to get the refrag, but at least he can get it done. Oh no, this is bad. I thought the conversion was guaranteed, Josh. But guess not. 2v4, Sumdayoung and Neityu up against the ropes. And Zoogs has already made the call for them to start rotating in. It has become 0-2 obvious. Neityu, though, has started to trim the hedges a bit. Sumdayoung deals with the CT contention, and this 4v2 salvaged by ENCE. But it's not over just yet because Demon's coming in with an AK-47, and they still need to fish Neityu out.
This is not a round FUT supposed to be winning. And in doing so, it's going to rub salt in the wound of what has been not the best of showing so far from ENCE. Neityu just gets double peeked. Insta headshot from the MP9. Maybe not. Maybe it's just because it's high stakes. A fast play down middle. ENCE swarming this B site, but there are 3 defenders here. This is a perfect setup. And as the Galil peeks, he does get the info. Krabeni and Jugs shut this down. And it's only 1 kill in retort as myltsi's limpid on 3 points of health. Symmetry finds rigon, and he even connects the shot through the wood as well. That is filth for ENCE. This looks dead in the water.
Their pistols, couple pieces of armor that are expected to carry the torch into a 7th round for ENCE, but those expectations will be too high. 1-for-1 trades. Zoog's about to be swung by a Tech 9, able to respond. Knows there's a player behind him. Rigon's able to get a kill. And they have been reduced to just 2 members, so maybe this is the start of something better. Neityu, the Tech 9 to deliver a kill. And I was talking about expectations, Josh. The pistols have superseded what should have been too heavy.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a bit of a solid, guaranteed lock onto 12 rounds. And instead, ENCE keep the torch burning. They're pouring gasoline on it, desperate to keep it burning, but it still goes. Demon is in the right place, though. As the bomb goes down, it'll confirm his suspicions. It is an A-site plant, but yeah, spams through the box are not the answer. Neityu responds with a headshot over the top. Here on the dusty Moroccan map. 10 wins in a row. They look to make it 11. That is so crisp from Krabeni. Is this
perfect
12 rounds
timing?
Now?
Shouldn't be any other way. You've got 30 seconds to go. ENCE, whatever they do now, will have a smidgen of desperation on it. Scout rifle contested, but they don't even find the full kill. Zoogs needs to be fished out. It'll be hard to check under Palace. The duel is missed. Sumdayoung finds Krabeni, and somehow FUT has dropped the ball to bring it down to just 2 members. Sorry, 1 member in the form of launx. There's no way this ends up working out, and ENCE have kept the engine going. My God.
That's how they'll feel, at least. Just the pistols here into round number 21. Final stretch here for Mirage. ENCE keeping this going. Just the pistols press into Palace. They overwhelm Neityu. That's going to be a rifle recovered, but also information relayed. Demon ends up with one more. launx follows, and this pulls down to a 2v2. They should still be aware that there's one more in the Palace position. Symmetry with that AK, but they have no idea where Krabeni resides. He's one of the only pieces that actually has Kevlar. In fact, I think he is the only man that started this round with Kevlar. If he can win the fight onto Sundai Young, and the scales tip, instead it's Symmetry to hit the head, and they now know where Rigon is. This would be such an insane round to convert.
Oh my goodness, constantly at the finish line. It seems like ENCE start to crumble after they've already manufactured the hard part.
They stack up onto 8, they overwhelm the Palace player, and just like I was talking about on Dust 2, sometimes you need to know when to cut your losses, and ENCE think that they can press in and trade. They're worried more about Neityu's AK that's dropped in Palace than the round itself, and everything crumbles.
ENCE fast play again. Lots of desperation coming out. Bomb planted by myltsi. And Demon fails to connect on the first few. I'm sure ENCE want to try and get a little bit of space going before this retake starts, but a 3v5, I wouldn't hate it if they started to back off. These weapons are way more important alive than they are dead. Uh-oh. Weapons exchanging hands. There's a player inside the smoke. Do they expect him to be there? I'll have to be super careful. Demon sees one. Missed shot. Missed opportunity. And rigon, although he dies for a good cause. Keeps the engine going for ENCE, but the crisis of being stopped in regulation for the CT side has been entirely averted. ENCE will have to play for OT.
This is kind of what happens as well sometimes when...
Final chance for ENCE. They cannot afford to crumble now, Josh. So many moments where they have flirted with the finish line. So many times they've materialized the comeback. myltsi, no way! Symmetry hits that shot! Does FUT want to end it in style? ENCE, 2v3. They've wanted to keep the engine going in Neityu so many times. He saved ENCE in the entirety of this tournament. But a 1v3 is a tall order to keep this engine going. So much work to do. 3 different angles, and he's not going to be able to get a single one. Team FUT are going to be your champions of the Proving Grounds.
Unreal. A 2-0 as well. A truly convincing fashion to get it done. And yeah, Symmetry does so much work there. The fact that he hits that no-scope, if he doesn't find that shot and he dies on short, then it's a 3v3 and you favor the T's in that post-plant. But he stays alive, he connects for another, and it's so, so important. Krabeni right up at the top of that scoreboard. The man calling the shots is once again your most valuable player because he delivers when he's needed most. And here in the grand finals, that couldn't...